AA6DP repeater.
Yes, it is. And this is David, KK6M, for the Catalina Amateur Repeater Association, net at 9, Wellness and Support net. It's 1700 hours Zulu, or 9 o'clock Pacific, and it's time for our net. Greetings. Again, this is David, KK6M, serving as net control. This morning, I'll briefly pause allow for any emergency or urgent traffic. Good morning. The Cara Repeater Association sponsors the net at 9 and has linked the 2-meter and the 1.25 centimeter repeaters up for this net this morning. If you're a visitor to the net at 9 this morning, I encourage you to go to the website, cara.radio. The website, you can check out all the benefits of Cara Repeater Association membership. I highly encourage you to do that. Anyone listening today, I encourage you to go to the website sometime today before the end of the year and check out all the benefits of membership. Very nominal fee. The Cara repeaters are open repeaters and are available for use by any licensed amateur radio operator without cost, provided that they comply with the FCC rules and regulations and act in a reasonable, courteous, and respectful manner towards other amateur radio operators. The net is offered Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. and is an informal directed net. That means all traffic directed to net control, please. You can join the net digitally from anywhere through Echolink or All-Star. Echolink is star, Catalina star. You should put that in your favorites. Or the All-Star node is 51597, which I use fairly regularly. All right. For the net at 9, Wellness and Support net, we typically go 2 rounds of over-the-air conversation. First round is where people check in and introduce themselves and let us know how you're doing, any plans that you have for the week or for the day. The second round is usually where we discuss a ham-related topic. I've got one up my sleeve here. Nobody comes up with something else. I encourage you to check in to the net this morning to be part of the conversation. For those who are just listening, would you please identify yourself and check in to indicate that you'll only be listening or have a short time or just will be monitoring. During the check-in process, it's important for me to copy everyone's call sign and name correctly. So please speak slowly using native phonetics, followed by your first name and location, if you would be so kind. Again, this is David, KK6M. So I will ask if there's any emergency traffic or any announcements for the net this morning. Okay, hearing none. Let's see if there's any mobile operators or operators that have only a very short window of time that can now check in. I'll take your call sign and name, please. Go ahead. Yeah, the driving traffic is pretty light. Yesterday it was pretty nice. Any mobile traffic or anyone with a short window of time, this is your chance to check in.
KK6 Echo Uniform Hotel, Rick, mobile in Pasadena.
Hi, Rick. You're a little quick on the draw there. It was Echo Uniform Hotel. What's the prefix?
Kilo 6.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Anyone else mobile or short window of time? Alrighty, let's go to Orange County, the big O. Anyone in Orange County that would like to check in to the net at 9? Now's your chance.
Oh, Tango Kilo Alpha, Jim at Tustin. KK6 Tango Romeo Charlie, Jeff at Huntington Beach.
KK6F John, Huntington Beach.
Okay, we had a trifecta there. I copied Jim, TKA, and Jeff, TRC, and John was covered up. John, please come back again.
Alpha Juliet, 6 Foxtrot, AJ6F John, the beaches of Huntington.
Yeah, I'm sure it's mighty cold down there. Maybe overcast. Okay, we got a couple there. Anyone else in Orange County? This is David, KK6M, for the net at 9 here on the Catalina repeater system.
F6LEX, Chris, Garden Grove.
E6 Echo Tango Charlie, Tom from Tustin, good morning.
Okay, we got Rick as mobile, and Jim, Jeff, John, Chris, and Tom. Anyone else from Orange County? And actually, what we'll do is we'll add Los Angeles County to that mix. So anyone in Los Angeles County, now's your chance.
Kilo Charlie 6 Alpha Romeo Yankee. This is Kim in Malibu.
Hello, everybody. November 6, Mexico, Germany. Melt in the Heights of Roland.
Okay, thank you, Kim and Milt. So we'll add to the mix anyone in a distant location, San Diego, Riverside, San Bernardino, Ventura, or Santa Barbara counties. I know you all can get in. So anyone, anywhere, basically, can check in now if you have not done so already.
Alpha Delta 4, Alpha Lima, Doug, Oceanside.
Kilo Bravo 6, Oscar Victor Oscar. John in the Park of Cedar Pines.
Okay, we got you, Kim, Milt, Doug, and John. Thank you so much. Wonder if there's anyone on Echolink or All-Star, any digital mode, that would like to come in. I'll make a little pause for you. All right, we got a little list here. My day's been great, been cool, and getting ready for a little bit of rain, looks like, maybe tomorrow. So we'll go to the top of the list. Well, before we do that, anyone that's monitoring or listening today that would like to check in, just for the list. Okay, wow, record time. It's 9:08, and we're going to the top of the list. What am I doing wrong, or what am I doing right? You got to let me know. All right, mobile station, Rick, KK6EUH. How are you doing today, and what be your day like?
Well, thanks. Greetings to all. I am currently en route to the RV repair shop to pick up my motorhome after, about 7 weeks worth of repair time down there, and going to get it home and try and use the dry time today and hopefully some tomorrow morning to start loading back all the stuff that I had to pull out so they could do the repairs in preparation for taking off after Christmas for a New Year's outing. We did an engineering number, a friend of mine and I, when the group goes out at New Year's, and we put a lighted ball 21, 22 feet up in the air at the rigs and bring it down at midnight. So that's going to be my busy time here. EUH back to net.
Well, that sounds like a good time, Rick. It's going to be like Times Square, watching that ball fall. All right, very good. How are you doing, Jim? What's on your plate for today? Tango Kilo Alpha. What say you?
Good morning, David and Annette. I got up about 7, which I usually do earlier, and went out in the kitchen and made up a batch of snickerdoodles to help fill some of the containers up of cookies I'm giving to the neighbors and friends. So they looked a little lonely as far as the container. I said, man, they need some more. So my wife's going to make some more sugar cookies to put in there also. And I got some running around to do after the net. So that's about it. KB6TK back to net.
Okay, Jim. Very good. My wife made a bunch of cookies earlier this weekend and yesterday. She made some shortbread cookies and some biscotti and some oatmeal cookies. Kind of does this periodically, and so packaging them up and going to distribute them to friends and neighbors around here. And of course, she gave me a big pile of them too. So, got to watch that stuff, right? The New Year's coming up. We have some plans, right? Maybe to lose some weight. So, it should start now. Don't be packing away those cookies too much, but it's pretty tough not to. She also made a cheesecake, which is just absolutely fabulous. That thing is about a third of the way gone, and it's only been in there for a day. All right. Thanks so much, Jim. How's Jeff? KK6TRC, thank you so much for all your service to the Care Repeater system. What's your day looking like?
This is KK6TRC, Jeff in Huntington Beach. Good morning, Dave. Great net, and you're flying right through it. Looking like a bit overcast here in Huntington Beach, kind of chilly, but still no moisture to really talk about. Just wrapping things up here for the holidays, not to throw a pun out there, but trying to whittle work down so that there's not too much going on over the weekend and the next 4 or 5 days. Don't plan on going anywhere, but doing well here. And was just looking at our Facebook page, and I see that Jim has posted about his peanut brittle, his habanero peanut brittle, which looks really good. So maybe we'll get a sample of that one of these days when he gets to it. That's it for me, KK6TRC.
Yeah, all this talk about food and sweets, it's going to give me high blood sugar just listening to you guys. All right, well, that's great, Jeff. I noticed that a lot of people are trying to take off work this week. I called PalStar, and all the tech support are in, quote, in conference, unquote, yeah, like in the back room, having a great time, or at home. Okay, I expect that, so no problem. We'll have to catch up with a lot of these people after the first of the year. Right, how's John doing, AJ6F? I want to make sure I check you guys off so I don't repeat myself here.
Hey, good morning, David in the net. Out doing my net at 9 walk. It's 54 degrees and overcast. No rain, as Jeff said, so it's not bad. Don't need my sunglasses. Want to make a public service announcement. We do have Santa on the air, 6 p.m. to 6:30 tomorrow on this repeater. So anybody with children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews that want to talk to Santa, please be on. And if you'd like to pre-arrange that, get a hold of Midge, W6LIK, whose details are on QRZ. SFI, 123 with a solar number of 115. That's about the highest I've seen it yet. I'm not seeing anybody from Europe or, far away, no new country, so I'm kind of disappointed. Hoping it might get me to my goal, but we'll see. Got a lot of presents to wrap, so that'll be kind of the focus. And work's a little slow right now. A lot of my team has taken off. Probably half my team has taken off parts of this week. So I'm going to actually take half a day here and go with the wife and a couple daughters out to Rogers Garden and have lunch at Fashion Island. So that ought to be fun. And David, you're doing great because last night took an hour and a half. We went all the way to 10:30. I don't think I controlled traffic very well. AJ6F, back to KK6M.
Well, there's nothing wrong with going longer. That's fine. If people are engaged and have something to say and are contributing, that's great. So that's what we look for. We look for the conversations. And you're fortunate to have packages to wrap, and honestly, in round 2, I'll talk to you a little bit about that and see what you guys have to say about supply chain issues. I actually had a communique from up in Finland. That's Santa's back door, so I had an inside scoop on what was going on up there. So I'll let you know about that later. All right, John, thanks so much, and sounds like a good day you've got planned. We'll break with you, and we'll pick up Chris, KF6LEX.
right there. Here's the way supply chain stuff works for me. It's like when I go to Panda Express. Yeah, there's something I really want, but when I get up there and you can peek inside the glass and see what they have, if they're out or almost out of it, there are little scraps left, I change it and I just get whatever they got a lot of. And that's my dinner that night. And so same thing now when I'm out shopping around. I don't need the latest, hottest thing, just something close to it that's they got a lot of. So, it's supply chain stuff. I haven't even noticed it here. And last week, I was at work, so I don't get to join the morning net. And I heard 6am was going to be running the net there. I was going to call in sick that day just to join the net. I didn't want to miss a chance to have a 6am running the net there, but I'm glad I was able to catch you today. KF6LEX.
Yeah, well, thank you there, Chris. I got my seat nailed to the floor here on Tuesday morning, so we'll see if anyone with a crowbar can come along and pry me loose. That may happen, you never know. But right now, I think Tuesday is going to be a slot that I'll fill for a bit. I don't know when Don's coming back or what's the story with Don's vacation, but we'll see. We'll see what goes on. But I'm here for now, and we'll see what happens. I'm very privileged and glad to be able to serve the care repeater system and the net at 9 in general. All right, Chris, thanks so much for checking in. I really appreciate it. And Tom, Hefe, W6ETC, how are you? And it sounded like you were on Echolink or mobile or something.
Good morning, Dave. Good morning, everyone on the net. How be you? I don't know. I probably didn't sound very good. I was on Echolink originally, but I am now on RF, as you can probably tell. And when I first started this morning, I was making coffee. So I sat down in my QTH, having a cup of coffee, enjoying the conversation. You did very well this morning. You're very efficient, David. You set a standard that even I want to try and emulate, and I appreciate you being part of the net. It's our privilege to have you as part of the team. Thank you, and thank you all for being part of Net at 9 this morning. W6ETC.
Well, there's certainly a great group of net controllers, and very happy to be able to be one of you. All right, Tom, thanks so much. And now we'll go to LA County and pick up Kim, my good friend, KC6ARY.
Good morning, David, and good morning to, pardon me, everyone on the net. Net at 9 is truly one of my favorite nets just because of the conviviality and congeniality of everybody on the net. And so you guys out there, the host, and also everyone who participates really makes this a great net. And we were told at my workplace that it was strongly suggested that we take vacation the first 2 days of this week, along with the extra 2 days of holiday that they gave us this week. So strongly suggested where I work means you better have a darn good reason, like you don't have any vacation left, to come in. Or like KC6CLC, she's part of the payroll team, and she still has to be there to get payroll out. So I'm just checking in daily to see if everything's okay with our information security robots, as it were. If they have anything to report, and I'm getting to work a little bit on radio. So trying to figure out how to get my 105-foot long wire up in the tree now that my slingshot fishing reel has a busted rubber band, and working on packet radio. So back to you, David, and the net, and good morning to everyone.
All right, Kim. Well, I don't know if you've seen them or used one, but the tennis ball cannon kind of thing, you can attach a fishing line to one of those things, and I've shot those things, I don't know, a couple hundred yards. It just depends on how big it is, how big of a cannon it is, and how much pressure you put in it. I think they're available on, if you Google them. I don't know exactly what the name of them is, but that's a great way to get in a wire up in a tree. You know, you can get them up in a 100-foot tree, no problem. Maybe somebody can let us know exactly what the name of that thing is. It's the tennis ball cannon. It's air-powered. Anyone know what that is?
I've seen it termed as also as a potato cannon, W6ETC.
Potato cannon. Well, that would be dangerous. Yeah, those things are pretty hard. Yeah, shoot a potato at somebody, you could give them, especially with the cannons that I've used, that would be very dangerous. Okay, well, to shoot a wire, or actually the fishing line that's attached to the tennis ball up in a tree is pretty good. Slingshots, not so much. I think the potato cannon or the tennis ball cannon would do a much better job. All right, now we'll go to the Chief Commandant of my world, N6MG. How are you doing, Milt?
Hey, David. KK6M in the net, N6MG returning. Well, everything's fine here. I'm going to do today exactly what I want to do, which will give you some ideas to what I had to do yesterday. But I've always called them catapults. It's a slingshot, you know, with a tennis ball, but to use just a slingshot, I have one that has a really large cup, you know, on the I guess stethoscope tubing elastic, and which does dry rot if you don't use it, and so I've treated it appropriately with a silicone spray. And I made one year for field day out of you know, a real rocket launcher out of PVC, you know, white PVC sprinkler hose, and used a valve and a bicycle air nozzle fitted in appropriately, and the propellant was a can of ether. And we hooked it up to the tennis ball, and we had the tennis ball, you know, fitting in the tube, you know, really kind of stuffed it in there to, you know, for compression. And then loaded up the tube with ether behind the ball and through the valve, you know, into a chamber with a big, you know, lever on it, and hooked it up to a rod and reel, a spinning, open-face spinning reel with 20-pound test. And when we fired it, the thing went so high and so far, it stripped about 200 yards of line off of the reel and snapped it with my double hatchet knot onto the reel. And so we had to scale things down quite a bit and then retrieve all the line back onto the reel and start over. That was kind of funny. At any rate, back to net, and I'm here. Back to you, my friend, or as Sandy says, my other friend. KK6M, the N6MG.
Okay, Milt. Well, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. I just did a little Google search, and yep, they're potato cannons, and there's a bunch of how to make them and where to buy them and all kinds of stuff. And I saw one link to see if they're legal. Not really sure, but certainly it's a great way to get a fishing line to pull a wire up into a very tall tree. So highly recommend them. Just be safe with those things. All right, Mel, thanks again, and you may tell us later what you want to do today. And so we'll break with you, and we'll pick up Doug, 84AL. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning, David, and everybody on the net. This is Doug, 84AL. Here in Oceanside, temperature's gone up to about 53 degrees, and I believe it's still overcast out there. I'm not seeing any sun, and haven't been out for my walk yet, so I may go out for my walk between now and my next transmission, and so I'll be on my HT next time. So, yeah, not much going on here. Well, I've been on the computer. I've got several different OSs installed in a multi-boot system on my laptop here, and my primary OS has been Pop OS, a distribution of Linux, and I've got a few other distributions of Linux on here, Ubuntu and a couple other ones, as well as Windows 10. And when I upgraded my version of Pop OS, it wiped out my grub menu, so I didn't have the capability then to boot into my different OSs. So I've been sitting here figuring out, and I had to reinstall my MX Linux to get my grub boot menu back. Seems to be working okay now. So for the time being, I'm kind of done with the computer. So I think I'll go outside and see how it is, and maybe go for my walk. 84AL, back to net.
Okay, Doug. Well, that Linux is pretty techie stuff. I looked at it once, and I don't really have a need, so I didn't go there. Pretty much switched over completely to PC. Many years ago, I was just all Apple until I just started doing more amateur radio programming and fooling around with amateur radio programs for CW and other kinds of things, and it's really kind of mandatory that you live in the PC world for any of that stuff. So it's kind of just the way it is. Japanese are very, very old-fashioned when it comes to software, as I've discovered. Anyway, Doug, thanks a lot. I hope you have a great day in Oceanside. It's a little overcast here as well. So we'll break with you, and we'll pick up John in the parks of Cedar Pine, KB6OVO.
Well, good morning to the net. KB6OVO here. Thanks for running the show there, and just wanted to say happy winter solstice to the gang. It's a little overcast here. We're bracing for some incoming serious weather. It was very nice of Edison to decide to do a maintenance outage last night, starting at 9 p.m. Feel sorry for the folks that don't have any kind of backup power. Anyway, power's back up. Folks are happy. Beautiful day. KB6OVO.
Okay, John, did you get any snow this last little storm or squall thing that came through?
Yeah, we sure did. We got a few inches of snow, just enough to cover everything and make the roads icy for a day. Other than that, it wasn't a very serious storm. I think we're going to get a lot more this time. KB6OVO.
Yep, and this is David, KK6M, with the net at 9 here on the Catalina repeater system. I can go to the Catalina website. That's Cara, CARA.radio, to see all the good things that are happening here with the Cara system. All right, that's the bottom of our list. Let's see if there's any stragglers here. We got going pretty fast this morning, so sometimes people check in or turn the radios on a little bit later, and so they don't have a chance to check in initially. So let's see if there's any late check-ins. This is David, KK6M.
KK6TRC with comment.
Okay, Jeff, go ahead.
Well, I was looking at our Facebook page for Net at 9, Cara Net at 9 Facebook page, and I came across something John and OVO had posted, and it's about our Christmas comment, Comment Leonard. Still viewable, and something was cleared up that I wasn't quite aware of. the comet is viewable 45 minutes after sunset, and that's the time you want to look for it. It has been progressing across our sky from from right to left. So if you look in the southwest sky, it's going to be to the left of Venus, a little bit lower in the southwest, and about 45 minutes after sunset. So if you're still trying to see that comet, you can see it with binoculars, and it should be viewable. KK6, well, without clouds, KK6 TRC.
Yeah, thank you for that. Well, today may be a little tough. We'll see. I've got a feeling it's going to stay clouded over. The storm's coming in, or whatever is happening here. The weather is moving in for the rest of this week, from what I understand. So I'll take another standby for any late check-ins before we jump into round two. Anyone not checked in, or just listening and on the side or monitoring, we can write your name down and your call sign for the log. Anyone around that's listening or want to participate, now you can check in now.
K6EXY, just listening.
NA6B, just listening.
KB6TK, I've checked my wife in. She's just listening. KC6LJF, Carol from Tustin.
Well, thank you, guys and girls. That's great. We got 3 more for the list. That's terrific. Thank you so much. Hopefully your listening will be enjoyable. I've just to let you know, I've been in contact with a station up in Finland, and got some interesting information. I know a lot of us have been reporting that all the gifts and everything are all piled up, but I want to report that Santa is well. Not any problem with Santa or any of the elves. They're all quite healthy. However, Houston, we have a problem. The supply chain has affected not only our Toys R Us and ham radio outlets, some other places like that, but certainly it's affected Santa as well. The supply chain for him has also been down. And I just to confirm that, I checked HRO this morning, and I found, of the things that are of interest to me, I checked the Kenwood 590 SG. It's out of stock. The Kenwood 890 is out of stock. The ICOM 7610 is out of stock. They do have the 7300. Of course, they probably ship those in bigger quantities. I did hear that ICOM was starting to ship their products by air last month, not by container on the tankers. Is just not making it. And Kenwood is a little bit behind on delivery as well. Seems like Iesu has got a little bit of a leg up on delivery to our local stores, but it's been really, really tough. Anyway, if you've whispered quietly to yourself or to anyone else that would listen of your hopes for holiday gifts, we call them hopes or dreams, when you got this radio on your mind. But eventually, those things become needs and wants. I don't know how that happens, but it does. But if you're not graced with your needs or wants being realized this holiday season, my question to you is, what's on your list that you will buy for yourself in 2022 if it doesn't show up under that proverbial tree? If it doesn't happen because of supply chain issues, are you going to get it yourself? And what would that be for 2022? I know I have a couple things on my list, and I'll probably have to get them myself, which is fine. I'll play Santa for myself. So we'll go to the top of the list and find out what's on your list, Rick. KK6EUH, if you're still with us. Well, he was mobile, so probably not. How about Jim? Are you short on supplies for making cookies? Any special pans that you want to purchase? Or what about amateur radio? What amateur radio gizmo is on your list that you may not be able to get right now, but in 2022 you plan on picking up? KB6TKA, go ahead.
KB6TKA. I have all the supplies I need. My wife seems to come home. She does all the shopping. I don't do hardly any. And I've always got my sugar, flour, da-da-da. It's always there. My nuts. Well, she calls me the one nut around here sometimes. I know. But yeah, I haven't heard anything or I've heard saying anything about a short supply of odds and ends. But as far as radios, I have no. I don't have anything on my list. I know that's hard to believe for him, but I don't. What I have is I work with, and it suits me just fine for now. So maybe later on in the year I might run across something. But I've got a DMR radio, and I've got this Yaesu. I got a 400, and all the stuff acquired when I got back into ham radio. So I really don't, Dave. I know it's people are going, oh, no, he's got to be kidding. No, I don't have anything on my list or any wants right now. KB6TK, back to the group.
Yeah, it's interesting about the Yaesu 400. I searched for it on HRO. It doesn't even show up. It doesn't even show up as being, out of stock. It's just not even there. It's crazy. The 300 is, but the 400 seems, I don't know if it's out of production already. They just brought that thing online, I don't know, a year ago, 2 years ago at the most. Yeah, I had one for a while. It seems to be a great radio, beautiful screen, really nice interface with the Yaesu 400. Okay, Jim, thanks for that. And so we'll pick up Jeff. I wonder in Jeff's endeavors what he has planned for 2022. Any expansion of the shack or something mobile, or what have you got up your sleeve?
This is KK6TRC, Jeff. Kind of both. I've got a hankering to get another TMV71, the Kenwood TMV71. HRO does have them in stock as far as I can see, and it looks like they might be having a bit of a sale on them. So I like that radio. I'd like to get another one of those. Because I've got one in my shack that is semi-permanently mounted. Very difficult to get out of the array of radios I have here, so I'd like to have a copycat for mobile. And then as far as HF goes, I would like to get a nice HF setup. I've got a starter setup now, but as soon as I get the license out of the way and get on the air on HF, play a little bit with what I have, and then upgrade to something more modern, and we'll see about that. KK6TRC.
Okay, I don't want to let you off the hook so quick. You kind of piqued my interest there, Jeff. You have a classic radio, is what you're saying, and that you want to use for a bit, and then get one of the more modern radios. Curious what you have now, and then what you're thinking about getting in 2022 after you get the license.
Okay, so I currently have, this is KK6TRC, I currently have a ICOM 706, first generation, not the Mark V, so, or whatever I think there's 3 generations of that radio. So that's what's mounted in the shack, and that would be what I would upgrade. But I think I'm going to use that first. Just test the waters and do some, get some experience so I can figure out what it is that I do want. One of the things that's been very pleasurable is the SDR.org site, where you can go on and listen to radios all over the world, and that definitely drives and piques the interest of getting into HF. KK6TRC. Yeah,
absolutely. If you can visit somebody with a a moderate station, with some antennas and a radio, and you can actually hear what's going on, especially now that the sunspots are up. This is the highest index I've seen in this cycle, and it's only going to get better over the next couple of years. So it's now's the time to really prepare. Get your antenna systems up and get your plans. The plans become wants and then eventually needs. That's the way it seems to be with me. Anyway, since you're using an ICOM, they make some really, really nice products, of course. So the 7300 and the 7610 are fabulous radios. I've never had a 7300, but I do have the 7610. I can tell you it's an absolutely gorgeous radio. So either one of them, I think, probably in your future. Anyway, Jeff, thanks for that. And we'll go to John, AJ6F. Any plans for upgrading your shack in 2022?
Yeah, David, good topic, AJ6F. Let me see. Supply chain, that's kind of interesting. They were saying it was going to be a real problem for Christmas, so I got out there a little bit early, but I had no problems finding all the things that people on my list wanted. I was surprised, and it got delivered very quickly. Or I even went out to the store and had plenty of stock. I will say middle of the year, I waited 3.5 months for a ACOM 1000, so it clearly was impacted back then. I've also noticed grocery prices are going kind of crazy. It's ridiculous what they want for filet mignon these days. Christmas, yep, I sent my wife a link. HRO had it in stock, FTDX10. No, I won't buy it for myself if I don't get it. I'll just stay with my 7300 for now. If I do get that, Chris, I might have a 7300 available, or an FTDX10, depends on which one I like better. I also have 3 ferrite cores, FT24043s on my list, and a new fancy LCR meter. I have a digital voltmeter, but nothing that really supports inductance. And since I'm going to wind some coils, I'm looking forward to that. So if they don't buy those things, yep, I'll pick them up myself. AJ6F, back to KK6M.
Yeah, very good. Well, that's an adventure. Some people call me nuts. Milt knows my shack, and he's been here, so he can testify to that. I do a lot of buying of radios and evaluating them, and then hopefully trying to sell them. I usually end up giving them away, actually. I know that sounds crazy, but I've owned just about every single radio on the market, but don't tell anyone. It's kind of a secret. But currently I have the FTDX10 and I have the 7600, and I don't have a 7300, but they're kind of the same as far as the menus. The two radios between ICOM and Yaesu are very, very different. The menu systems are totally different. It's almost like one is an Apple and one is an Android. The ICOMs are very much like Apple, plug and play. You don't have to think about it too much. They just work. The Yaesus and the Kenwoods both have a much different menu system, and they're very versatile radios. The Yaesus are great rigs, but it's not as intuitive to me in the menus as the ICOM or the Kenwood. It's just a little bit different interface. So we'll see how that works out for you. Anyway, no bad choices anywhere there. Okay, John, good luck with that, and we'll see if there's a FTDX10 in your future. All right, we'll break with you, and we'll pick up Chris, KF6LEX. What do you have planned for your shack next year?
All right, well, first, feel sorry for old 6F John there. If Santa doesn't come through for him, he's going to have to be slumming along. With only a 7300 there, Gina, that's rough duty there. And my HF equipment's getting a little long in the tooth there. It's first generation DSP stuff. Any kind of, certainly no waterfall, any kind of spectrum display is very crude and rudimentary there, so it's a little dated, but working fine. So I got nothing on my list there until something dies, then we'll see what happens. But I'm going to keep soldiering on with the equipment I have there. I've been real happy with it. What's on my list now is an electric bicycle, or at least parts to make one of my existing bicycles an electric bicycle. I've kind of done that proof of concept with the electric scooter, just have something small and tiny you can plug in and go, and it's shown some real good possibilities, so I might round up the parts to put together and make one of my bikes into an electric bicycle. You buy a rear wheel, it's got this giant hub motor in it and all this stuff with it, and that's like $300 for the kit, but then it's another $300 to get the battery to go with it, so it costs almost as much as a bike just to convert one of your existing bikes. But sound like a fun project. KF6LEX.
Yeah, that sounds terrific. Well, I have old gear on my shelf here. I have a Kenwood TF830S that I had kind of restored by John Kluwer. His call sign is N6AX. He's over here in Cyprus. He specializes in Kenwood gear, and so if you have any Kenwood radio, like the V71 or a 742 or any of those UHF VHF radios that are old, that need a little bit of work, John can handle that for you. And he took really good care of my Kenwood 830. So I fire that thing up every once in a while, and it's a super heterodyne receiver with a pair of tubes, finals, and it's a sweet radio. It's probably the best transceiver in its day, but it's very long in the tooth. But it's a beautiful piece of gear. I don't think I'll ever part with that thing. All right, so older gear, then no problem. There's back in the day we didn't have internet, we didn't have waterfall, we didn't have anything like that. All we had was a VFO that we turned and dialed around, and so what's wrong with that? Nothing at all. You get on a band and call CQ. You can have a great amount of fun without a waterfall, without SDR, without any of that newfangled stuff. So no worries at all there. Okay, we're at the end of, we'll pick up Tom first, and that'll be the end of Orange County. W6ETC, do you have any plans for your shack next year, either UHF, VHF, or HF? I know you're going to be working on your license as well. Tom, go ahead.
Great question, David. Tom, W6ETC. A couple of things that I hope to be able to accomplish in terms of the shack next year is to, one, I have a vertical Titan DX. I need to do a repair and to tune it. I need to kind of drop it down, maybe build a mechanism on the base, where it's right now it sits on top of my patio and attaches to the side of my home. Perhaps where it hits the top of the patio. There you are. I was washing dishes. It's just this KM6CMD is my platform, but it's not designed to tilt something there. But I do need to repair it, and to a 30-meter element dropped off of it. It's not a big deal, but nonetheless, it does affect it overall in terms of its tunability and resonance. Having said that, down the road, one of the things I do have to do is replace this 2-meter 440, 1.25 meter radio. It's heating up, and it's time. I have most of my equipment, except for my 7300. I got a 7300, thank the good Lord, but most of my equipment is fairly old. So I'd like to get a new 2-meter 440 or 70 centimeter, 1.25 meter, or 220 replacement for next year for running the net. That would be good. Don't know exactly what that is yet. I'm open to suggestions. And last but not least, as I mentioned last night, my hope someday in the future maybe is to have a hex beam and the ability maybe to raise it up at night, kind of do it stealthy because I live in a HOA area, and then put it back down during the day without too much trouble. Maybe something, I may have to get something motorized. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. Anyway, the dreams go on, right, David? Thank you, David, for running the net, and that's it for me, W6CTC.
AJ6F.
Go ahead, Ed. AJ6F, go ahead.
Yeah, QSL. Hey, Tom, look at the Anytone 578 mobile. It's got 2 meter, 70 centimeters, and it's got 1.25, plus you get DMR. John, OVO, myself, and Doug are thrilled with them. I've actually got 2 of them now, one in the car. They've been great, no problems, and they get out. You've been using it. It's the first radio I got, and kind of the only UHF, VHF I've got. AJ6F.
N6QAP.
N6QAP, you have traffic for the net? Go ahead.
This is Mark in Grand Terrace, N6QAP, and I just wanted to check in. I'm a member of CARA, and say happy holidays. This is my once and done. I'm getting ready for a heat and air guy come in, do some work. Back to you. Everybody have a nice day. 73 to all, N6QAP.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. 73 to you. Happy holidays, and best wishes for the new year for you and your family, as well as the rest of members here of the Net at 9. So I'll take a standby for any late check-ins before we finish out our list here. This is David, Kilo 6 Mike. Any late check-ins?
W6 LIK Mid, Seal Beach.
November Victor 6, Jim. November Victor 6P, Jim in Huntington Beach.
KD4 STN Joe in Westwood, coming in as a late check-in.
All right, so we got Mitch and Jim and Joe. All right, well, you'll be at the bottom of the list. There's a couple people in front of you, but certainly we'll pick you up. Why don't we run through you quickly for round 1? We're into round 2 now, but anything going on today, Mitch?
This is W6LIK. I'm just really excited about Wednesday with our soda talk with Santa with AJ6F at Santa. He did a wonderful job last week, and we have 4 children lined up, and they're really excited. We had a few more, but their parents are sick, so we have 4 to talk to Santa, and we're excited about it. That's Wednesday at 6 o'clock on the Catalina net. W6LIK.
Yeah, that's terrific, Mitch. That was mentioned earlier, and we'll follow up at the end of the net. We can do that announcement again. All right, well, so we'll break with you. I'll pick up Jim, NV6F. What say you for today? What's going on?
Just listening. November Victor 6 Papa is the call. I think I messed it up. I got my extra in July, and I made myself a promise that I'd get my tower up, which I had stored for 30 years. And so that project's underway, waiting for the urban stepper beam and a new 2-meter beam and a vertical. So life got in the way. Got my daughters married off, got them graduated from college, grandkids on call, so we've got things going. Now it's my turn. November Victor 6 Papa.
Well, that sounds great, Jim. You know, now's the time to get active. With sunspots improving, you know, today is the index is like 122, 120 something, pretty high up there. I was on 10 meters before the net, and it was open throughout the United States. 15 meters was open into Europe. So, you know, it's like good times are come again. So now's the time really to build that station, get those antennas up for sure. All right, we'll come back to you later. Joe, AB4SDN, was it? What say you for today? I guess he was just
Good morning
listening.
to
We'll come back to
everybody
him
on the
later.
net. I'm coming
All right,
in on the
so
echo
we'll
line on the
we'll finish up with round.
hopefully I'm coming through okay. I'll just be listening in on the side.
The Los Angeles people.
Getting ready for the rain.
KK6TRC. How are you doing?
Last night did a lot of chopping of wood. I had cut down some of my. I had an Afghan pine tree that I cut back a lot of the branches, so I have a lot of firewood. Now that we kind of are using the fireplace more to kind of, just more for the holidays. We don't really use it to heat the home that much, but it's just kind of more decorative. But just kind of splitting a lot of wood for the fireplace, and otherwise getting ready for the, Christmas holiday. So with that, I'll go ahead and be just listening in on the side, and the other thing I was going to mention is I'm happy to hear that 10 meters has opened up. I wish I was home and I could operate it. I love 10 meters. I grew up on 10 meters back when I was just starting out in radio. So, I'll have to try to work that. I would be kind of interested just in knowing what kind of antenna the operator that is using 10 meters is using, just so that I would know. Thanks, and good morning to everybody, and happy holidays.
Okay, Joe, double with you a little bit there. 10 meters, 4 elements at 60 feet, running barefoot pretty much. When 10 meters is open, you don't need a whole lot of antenna. I've worked Germany on 5 watts from a converted CB radio with a little whip on the back of a Honda Accord. So, when the band is in, it's in. So you don't need a whole lot. 1010 number 27768 from 1979. All right, let's go to KC6ARY. Kim, how are you? And any plans for the shack in 2022?
Well, let's see. I think no new radios, really, in 2022. I successfully abstained during 2020. We did get the 705 here in 2021. Hope to do a lot of operating, but no new radios. Probably for the portable shack, I think I'm getting a really super duper Bluetooth Blue Parrot adapter for when I do portable. All the radios here, the FT3D, we call them the Doctor, the 705, we call them the Spy, and the 878 UV Plus, we call him the Thief. All of those radios have Bluetooth, and if you get it set up right, it sounds really, really good. And this one that I think I'm getting is going to have extra noise canceling and extra battery run time. So that's the big item for the shack. Note to everyone, thanks for the thoughts on the ball launchers. I'm gonna try using one of the ones that you use. It's like a lever that you throw the ball with. I've got to go 12 feet up and about 40 feet downrange to get the tennis ball with the line attached to it over these 2 trees. So I think that will do it. And thanks for the suggestions. KC6ARY, back to net at 9, and you, David.
Okay, Kim, always great to hear you. This is David, KK6M, with the net at 9 here on the Kara repeater system. All right, we'll break with you and we'll pick up Milt. I know he just got a big present from Santa, so he may not be getting anything radio-wise next year, but there may be some improvements in his antenna systems. I can foresee that. Karnak predicts there'll be some antenna changes for Mr. Milt. N6MG, what say you?
KK6M in the net, N6MG. Well, no great words of wisdom. I am the proud new owner of a Yaesu FTDX 101MP that is smarter than me so far. And just, working out some minor misunderstandings that the radio has as to what I would like to achieve. And so just cat control in particular. But what am I going to do? Well, this Christmas, that was 2 weeks ago. That's history. Now we're looking into the future, and I'm getting a new chair in my shack. My part of my buyout when I retired was, of course, my company car, my laptop, my chair out of my office, as well as other, physical considerations. But one of the, it's the new OSHA requirements. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. The new OSHA requirements on chairs is that they have 5 feet, instead of 4. Too many people leaning back, I guess, instead of leaning forward. But mine has 5, but one of the wheels broke. And, leaned back last night, went over backwards, into my trash can, bowl of, tomato soup, in my lap all over. So with that, I'm going to Staples today, and I'm getting me a new chair for Christmas. And that's, that'll blow my budget for me. And that's really about it. Infrastructure. The radios are there. And David, you're right. Big plans for antennas. We'll just have to see what comes to fruition. Or actually, in other words, what actually happens. So that's about it. And really good job on the net this morning, David. I just can't say enough about that. You really fit in, and we look forward to having you as a net control for a long time. KK6M and everybody else in 6MG.
Well, thank you, Milt. In the words of somebody wise that I look up to, one man's DX is another man's QRM. All right. We'll break with you, Milt, and we'll pick up Doug in the lowlands of Oceanside. 84AL, what say you, Doug, for 2022? Any changes or upgrades?
Okay, David, this is 84AL here in Oceanside. No big plans. The main thing I would like to get up and running is a solar-powered battery backup system. Of sufficient capacity to run my radios as well as a few other appliances, lamps, and things like that. In case the grid goes down for an extended period, I can still operate and we can still have a refrigerator, keep stuff cold, things like that. Nothing fancy, but these lithium iron phosphate batteries are still pretty expensive, so I'm saving up my pennies and seeing what kind of capacity I'll need. And so I hope to set that up in the early part of next year. No radios planned for purchase, but I've got pretty much all I need here. I've got my TYT handheld, which I'm going to probably take out on my walk with me. Well, since the net is almost over, I probably won't. I usually take that out in the morning on my walk and participate in Judy's morning net over there in Keller Peak. But I think after this net, there's not much going on, so I probably won't take my HT with me. But yeah, I can also recommend this Anytone D578 UV3. Now, the one I got didn't have the APRS and GPS and the Bluetooth on it, and I kind of wish I'd gotten those options now. But I wanted to spend a little bit less money, so I got the cheaper version without those features. But yeah, if you're going to get the D578 UV3, I would get the full thing, the plus, so the everything included, just in case. It's a little more expensive, but it's a great radio. I've enjoyed using it so far, both as a base station and occasionally when I take it out in the car and use it as a mobile unit. Anyway, that's about it for me. I'm going to go out on my walk now. 84AL. Thanks for running the net, David. Back to net.
Okay, Doug, this is David, KK6M with the Kara Net at 9. Well, one of the obviously advantages of going on the walk a little bit later is it's a bit warmer. You get out there early in the morning and it can be pretty nippy. I can testify to that. All right, well, have a great time and look forward to talking to you later. We'll break with you and we'll pick up John, KB6OVO from the Cedar Pines Park.
Well, good morning again, David and the net. I really don't have want for anything right now, but I do want to get into learning more detailed information of operating my Kenwood 590 SG. And for Tom, that Kenwood TMV 71A is a great radio, and so is the Anytone, as Doug mentioned. Anyway, back to net, KB6OVO.
Okay, well, thank you, John, for all that you do for the net at 9. Really appreciate it. And we'll break with you, and we'll run down to some late check-ins here. Let's see, Midge, did you have any plans for your shack for 2022? That's what we're talking about here on round 2. W6LIK, are you still with us?
This is W6LIK, and I'm with you and listening, and I'm learning a lot. Yes, I'm going to try to get a permanent flagpole antenna situated this year, and I'm also looking at the four Patriot generators. I would like to learn more about generators, but that one seems to be a really excellent, what I've seen on the net. The 4 Patriot generators seems to be excellent. You can use it indoors. You can do your refrigerator and all kinds of other electrical things. So that's what I'm looking at. W6LAK, back to net. And David, you're doing a great job.
Well, thank you, Mitch, and good luck with that generator. I don't know about indoors. That's new on me if it's gas-powered. I have a Honda 2200 or something, and it's fairly quiet, but I certainly wouldn't want to be running that indoors. Okay. We'll break with you, and we'll pick up Jim. Any plans for 2022? Wow, it's getting up there, isn't it? NV6P, nice call sign, Jim. What say you? Okay, he's probably just listening, and we'll check with Joe if he's still around. AB4SDN. Okay, this is David, KK6M. Is there any late comments or anybody I missed? Gets a little hectic around here with the paperwork. Just curious, any final comments or anyone that I missed, please come now.
N6QAP, Mark and Grand Paris, November 6, Quebec, Alpha Papa. I kept the radio on, and the heat and air guy hasn't showed up, so I'm still waiting. Got everything ready, but I just had to jump in and say hey to my Elmer. At least I claim him. I hope he doesn't disclaim me. Good Milt. Milt is really a champ. Love Doug. Love John. I love Kara. You guys that are on Kara, I care about you. We care about Kara. I wanted to say that I've got a FTDX10 up in the curio cabinet. It has not seen electricity. I haven't fired it up. I don't have an antenna, but I want to get an antenna for getting on HF. Either take that cobweb down and take it apart, or get a beam or something. I got 4 rigs. I got 2 2980s, I got a FT70D and that DX10. I got 4 Yaesu radios from ham radio outlet. And the other day the wife says, "Are you getting another radio?" I said, "No, I'm not getting another radio. What would I do with another radio if I can't use it?" So I've got a little NorCal 40. It's on 40 meters. I put it together. Wilderness Radio, Bob Dyer, Eric Schwartz, Wayne, those guys from Elecraft, they kind of designed that thing, kind of a forerunner for their bigger radios. It really works nice. I'd like to get on the air with that just simple rig. But anyway, I'm enjoying the holidays. I hope everybody's enjoying the holidays. And Milt, thanks for your kind words. I want to say that again. And back to you, John. I mean, David, you're doing a good job. I wish I could do half that good. So this is Mark, November 6th, Quebec Alpha Papa, and little old Grand Terrace, just tucked in between Colton, Riverside, Loma Linda, and San Bernardino. Back to you. 73 all.
Well, thank you, Mark. N6QAP from KK6M and the net at 9. Well, I have a NorCal 40 I put together, I don't know how long ago, maybe 20 years ago. It's been a while, and as a little QRP CW radio, it works fantastic. I think it's a direct conversion radio, and it's very sharp. It picks signals out very, very well. I used to take it mobile with me, and I had a knee key which strapped to my knee, and I used that thing. Or if you take it to a park, just get a wire. What I would do, Mark, is get that the Yaesu out of the cupboard and put it on your desk, and just get a wire, a little piece of coax or something, and throw it out the window and just turn it on to listen. You may be surprised what you're going to hear. The bands are starting to open up. So anyway, good luck on an antenna. That brings up a whole other topic. What's more important, your antenna or your radios? I've heard arguments on both sides. So we'll leave that for another day. And so at the bottom of my list here for round 2, we'll see if there's any other comments or questions for the net today. It's David, KK6M. All right, that's the end of the list. So last call. Do we have any late check-ins or last-minute comments? Call sign, first name.
Comment, M6MG.
Milt, go ahead.
Yeah, on the 2-meter radios, I have an ICOM IC2730A, and I have an ICOM ID5100. I've got a Kenwood TH710, the older one, the original one. It doesn't have, a lot of the proprietary modes, although it does have APRS that I've never used. And maybe one other rig. I'm not sure, but I like them all. If I had to pick one as a favorite, it would probably be the TMD 710 that I have in the car. One thing that I personally, let me reset. One thing that I personally look for, I have a 578. That was the one, and it's on my bench. It's on my desk inside in the shack right now, where I'm doing a code plug for it in one of the zones. I'm setting up a separate zone for just my everyday, analog 2-meter repeaters, but and 70 centimeters, but just a zone with nothing but those. But the one thing I wanted to comment on. No, I did not buy the 578. It is a 2-meter 440 220 version, and it is limited to 5 watts on 220, but I'd rather have 5 watts on 220 than nothing on 220 when it comes to a radio. But the thing I wanted to comment, one of the prerequisites that I have personally on a VHF, UHF radio, I want the squelch control on a front panel knob. I don't want to have to go to a menu item in order to reduce the squelch to see if there's a signal that, to be heard as opposed to hitting the repeater and coming back at me. And so that's it. But those are my comments. That's what I wanted to make the comment on once the subjects, drifted that way. So back to net. Thanks, Dave. David, good job, man. Really good. KK6M and the net N6MG.
Okay, Milt, all noted. Those are all very adequate radios. I've used them all except that older one that you're talking about. The V71 I use. The ICOM 2370, I think. Is that the number, Milt?
2730. That's what I'm on right now. So, I get a lot of soft audio reports on this. It's just a question of hooking the radio up to the laptop because the mic gain is, it's programmable, but I don't want to fish around for it. I'll do it through the software.
Yeah, the ICOM 2730 is non-D-Star radio. It's kind of a plain Jane rig. It's one of the cheaper ones. It's like $200 something. They do nickel and dime you to death when you get anything peripheral for that radio, but I like that radio a lot. I think for the money and for what it offers you, it's terrific. The Kenwood is quite a bit more money, the V71, but certainly a great radio. My favorite UHF VHF radio is the old Kenwood 742. I've got a couple of them and had them restored by John Kluwer, N6AX, and they are just absolutely fabulous. 2 meters, 220, 440. It's a modular platform, so you can actually pull the modules out and change them around. You can add 6 meters and 1.2 gigs if you wish. So, if you ever get a chance to get your hands on a Kenwood 742, don't let it pass you by. I can guarantee you that. All right, let's see. Any last check-ins? Any further comments for the net at 9?
AJ6F.
AJ6F, go.
Hey, thanks for mentioning 15 meters. I just got Mauritania, Africa, and if they confirm, it'll give me 100. But I have 113, so we'll see if they confirm. So just thought I'd throw that out there. No power, just straight 100 watts in a wire there. AJ6F.
Yeah, which country?
Mauritania. I had to look it up. They're in Africa. They're a country in Africa. Mauritania. Mauritania. AJ6F.
Yeah, they've been very active lately, and that's on the western coast of Africa, so it's not too difficult to get. But 15 meters has been really, really hot. And right about now, between 9 and 10 o'clock, Africa is open. Now, if you look at the map with the gray line, you can see that the gray line is starting to approach that western edge of Africa now. So by 11 o'clock, they'll be gone, and Europe will be gone. So if you want to get on and get Europe and Africa, do it in the morning, as early as possible. Get up and get your radio on. Beam your whole house that away, about 88 degrees for Africa, and go to town. Those are my final words of wisdom for the day. For the Kara repeater system, you can, and the net at 9, you can check out the Facebook page, and you can search the Facebook for Kara net at 9 to go to that page. And don't forget this evening's net at 9. So please join us again tonight. For more information about the net at 9, go to the website, cara.radio. This concludes the CaraNet at 9 Wellness and Support Net. If you have any questions or suggestions for us, please drop me an email, and that would be kk6m@arrl.net. I'd like to thank all of you for checking in this morning, and for those who stood by so that the net could meet up this morning, thank you so much.